Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I have a tricky rap, a lot of vowels, and some duplicates. I can sort all of these problems out with OBIA, OBIA, but that doesn't leave a great rap leave. Is there a slightly longer play? Possibly one burning the G as well, not a great tile. Don't think so. So, Obia for 12. Pretty good. That must be close to a bingo. I can't see a 7. My floating vowel's not particularly helpful given I have 4. What about the B? Biggerade. Fantastic. I do have a bingo in column 9. May well be blocked. But not necessarily. I have provided... no, it hasn't been blocked. I thought for one moment it had. So, this should... well, let me spell it correctly. Biggerade, 64. Horrendous, dreadful pickup. Not as bad as it possibly could be. There are no duplicates and it's balanced in terms of vowels and consonants just about. But it's a grim set of tiles. UW is a pretty deathly combination. And straight after a bingo, there's a lot of randomness in the pickup, but it's nice to get a half decent one to keep the momentum going. As it is, not great. And I could play off WUX if I had an I or an A because of Wuxia. There are lots of I's and A's on the board, but none of them work. Now I don't have to play off the X straight away. I probably do need to sort out the W and the U. So I could play wood in row N. Probably doesn't score enough right now. But if my opponent plays in row O and it's still playable, then it could generate sufficient points. There's nowhere fabulous for the X straight away, and I'd rather have that for score next turn. Now I can play walnuts, which is quite nice, keeping ox, and with 3 A's on the board. Wow, has my opponent managed to block all 3? He has. That is irksome. However, that means he's left row O alone, which I hadn't really paid attention to since I was expecting it to be taken. So, what to play down here? I could play low. Let me see what this scores. So that's 38. Keeping a not great rack leave. Is there a way of playing off either WU or UX through that E? Well, what about Lux? Exalt is blocked. So Lux 33 keeping town. And it was 38 for low. I think this is better. This doesn't give much away, and I think the rack leave is tractable. W and O have synergy, and O is a much better vowel to keep than the U. But is there something even better? There's ULEX as an alternative. That probably is better, just. It makes it slightly harder for a play to use the double word square in row N. It does take a C in front, that's no biggie. Now, have I missed anything better in column 8? Well, I certainly don't have an X play in column 8 because an X doesn't go in front of A or E. I'm going with this. Well, not great, but not terrible either. Again, no duplicates, which is good, and it's balanced. I've also got an E, which is bingo. E, W, and H have some synergy. But overall, I can't see a 7 or an 8 with this rack. But I should be able to play off the W and the H, score quite well, and leave a decent 3 or 4 letter set. And I know the Y is next to a premium square, so I could play how for quite a lot in column 11. A double lane is open in column 11. But I don't think there are going to be many candidate words which can play there, because it would have to be A, O. Wow, back-to-back bingos for my opponent. Pretty impressive stuff. 66 points. He's now 60 points in the lead. Lowe would have blocked that play, but it's a fabulous rack. Linter plus a blank. He would have had a bingo somewhere. Retiling, for example, in row J. So, a few more floaters. Do I have a bingo with this rack? I've said that I don't think I do, but I need to be sure. The I looks like it goes quite well. Can't see anything there. The N, not so good. What about the E? Town heel, don't think so. The R, not available. G, can't see anything, although I've got long and length. I've got hole on my rack. Can't see anything with the A. Okay, so I've done that little check. My how spot remains available. I don't really like keeping L with N. So, is there something better? How also plays in row L. What have I missed? Let me have a look at the score in this spot. 37 points, that's a good score. It's not opening anything up. Rackley, pretty good. I slightly don't like L and N, but it's not a disaster. I think this rack goes well with the I of inertial. So I'm going with this. Fantastic. That is a good pickup. I have aliment and ailment, and possibly a third. Through an A, there are 3: anti-male, allayment, and laminate. None of those go. My opponent's annoyingly blocked floaters without providing anything new and scored well. Now, what about the G? Metalling. Yes, metalling. Ligament, tegminal. Metalling works. Fantastic. Metalling for 69. And I don't think there are any other floaters to consider. The I and the A are not going to produce better options, even if words exist. Great. No duplicates. Balanced. May not be a bingo here, but I've got 2 scoring tiles, and I've snuck back into the lead. I have placed 2 vowels next to premium squares. But the Q has gone, the X has gone, so nothing big can go on top of the I. And my B can go there. This is now quite a locked down board. My B can go in front of IO. I'd like to get rid of the B and the F. Great, my opponent's slowing down a bit. So I've got fob and fib. Fib plays here. 27 points, which puts me back in the lead. It doesn't provide anything great for my opponent because FE takes nothing in front of it. There's a small mini hotspot for a 2 or 3 letter play above IT. Well, including the Z, so ZO goes there for a 50-point play. Well, I think I'll just have to accept that risk. The Z could go in front of the I for 30-odd points in any event. Tone, an okay Rackley, but this is now a very non-bingo-y board. Fib kills 4 floaters. So if my opponent does come back with Zoe, I may need to open the board up. This looks quite useful, D through S, and making Lex or Locks. Well, I've got an E or an O for next go. I think it is a next go move because I do want to get rid of F and B. Now my F can go underneath AR. My I can go underneath Uni. So I've got I, E, F. Wow, so close to brief. That would have been fantastic, just lacking the R. So I've got just EF, keeping Biont. That opens up row O for a 5-letter play. No, I'm going with Fib. Not good. No scoring tiles. My lead is 20 points. So Zoe would be pretty bad, but that's fairly low probability. Only one Z. Zara also available in that spot. So I've now got a lot of vowels. What about playing through D and S? Can't see anything. All of my vowels go in that spot. So I could just play does for 19. Nothing goes between I and L that I've got. And does has the advantage of providing nothing for my opponent. Well, my opponent's got the same idea. However, only 19 for him. Maybe I should take out this spot. How can I do that? Well, I could play toe. Only 13 points, but it gets rid of the Z spot. It makes the board really tight. The Z in front of the I is still available, but my opponent, well, he can play a 3-letter play there. But there are 2 S's to come. One bad thing about this move is the Rackley, vowel heavy. Still quite a lot of vowels to come. So, is this best? And I think I'm recording through my webcam and not my microphone, which is a little bit annoying. Find out later if that's the case. So, toe. Just being distracted by my sound. Okay. And now I'm distracted by the need to cough. Right, so 10 minutes to go. Do I play toe? I can't play AO in that spot. I don't have 2 A's. This doesn't feel great. There's only 1 point in it. I'm not sacrificing points to burn the Z spot because there's really not very much available on this board at all. So I'm going with this. Okay, that's not too bad. I now have got a scoring tile in the Y. It can go underneath AR. Nothing to go up that I've got goes under UN. So I think all I've got is AY. Nothing goes between T and U. Well, AY doesn't work, any A not good. So I don't have a play there. I don't think Neo is good. That's slightly annoying because that's a nice spot for the Y. What do I have down here? Well, I have EYE. I may need to do that if there's no other options available. I wonder if toe was a massively suboptimal play. Wow, bingo for my opponent. And I just thought for a moment I had endodyne or annoyed. I don't. I'm close. I have anodyne. The play of Shivered has opened the board up. It's opened up 2 floaters in columns 14 and 15. It's also opened up row D and column 8 for a high scoring play. So this has really turned the game around. I've got a very poor rack for responding to that. However, I think anodyne is quite good. Both blanks have gone. I'm leaving myself an E. It was non-bingo, so there's benefit in turning over tiles because there were no decent sets to keep. 36 points is a good score. Yeah. Not good. Imbalanced. A lot of high scoring tiles, and I'm 15 points behind. Ramjet through an A. So burning lots of vowels suddenly doesn't seem such a great idea from last go. 11 vowels left out of 25. 30 points for my opponent, so he's now got a good lead. How can I sort this rack out? I'd like to hang on to my E and jettison some of the weak tiles, or the non-bingo tiles. So if I could play Jimp somewhere, that would leave Cret, which is a nice rack lead, but I can't play Jimp. What about JE something here? Do I have a play down here? JE something E, Jet A, superb. Not a great rack lead, but a decent score. It keeps me in the game, 44 points. Can I do better than that? It would be nice to get the M. Wow, to get the M on that spot. Just wondering if I can do that without burning the J. Let me just put this back 7 minutes on my clock. So it would be E. Well, just anything which is 5 tiles long is likely to score quite well. The E would have to be next to the N. Can't see a way of doing that. So I have Jet A. Where else for the J? Only 3 E's to come. I think the points mean I'm going with this. Jet A, 44. No vowels. Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. It means my opponent's probably got a pretty balanced rack. I'm only 1 point behind, but that is misleading because this rack is horrendous. However, if the O stays available, I've got Klomp. But is it going to be available? Zoo is playable, which provides nothing good for me. I guess the E of Shivered is still available for column 12. And the I. But nothing as good as Klomp. I can't see a way of playing off four consonants, just 11 tiles left. Yeah. Okay, well, that's good and bad. Only 16 points for my opponent, which is good. 6 tiles in the bag. I can now play Clump down here for 28 points. Crump also available, but I think this is better. Plump even better. Or is it? Yes, it is. Or is it? The C is more bingo-y than the P. I'm not really looking at a bingo. Is the P more flexible than the C for non-bingo plays? Well, this PEN spot not particularly useful since jar and 2 take nothing in front of them. Now my P can go in front of the E, but my C can't. I'm going to go back to having the C here. It's just approaching the end game. The C can be more problematic. Okay, so Clump 28, and now I think the game is in the hands of the tile gods in terms of what I pick out. I could pick out a bingo. So, let's see. Great, I draw the Z. I don't think I have a bingo, but I draw the Z, and that would have been the easy way for my opponent to have got a big score. He could have a bingo, in which case it's game over. If he doesn't, I think we're going to be in for a pretty close end game. The F spot for R still available. My opponent could just play EF, but then maybe I'd have a decent play in row O. I'm not sure I can see a 5-letter play with the Z on my rack. There could be something there. I've got Zerda on my rack and raised, and Dazer. Now at the moment, where can my Z go? I've got Days in column 14, getting the Z tripled. What else is there? Do I have anything through the C? Oh, I thought I had Craze. I don't. Do I have anything with the Z and this C? Not sure that I do. Can I reach this triple letter square? So something like DO or PO or RO. Well, whatever it is, it's going to be AZ. That's not very likely, so I don't think I have got anything. So at the moment, it's just the days spot. What about column 12? Well, if I'd kept my C as I wanted to, I would have had Craze. So was that the blunder that's cost me the game? Do I have anything beginning with the Z? Nope, I've got Zarape on my rack. Can't see anywhere for that. 11 minutes on my opponent's clock. Nowhere great for the Z in column 13. It doesn't hook any of these words or tiles. Do I really have nothing down column 12? And my opponent's taken my Z spot. So what was the best other Z spot that I had? I don't have anything for going after the G. I can see what my opponent's got. He's got only 6 tiles. He's not bingoing. He's got 4 vowels. He's still got the EF spot. And he can't do anything better than that. He also doesn't have a play in column 15. Ophi's not good. So I think I just need to go out in 2. I'm 1 point ahead and score quite well. So I can play raised. 33 points. RAZD, keeping P. So I've then got pace. Should be enough. But is there something better with the P or the Z or the D on this double letter square? 4 minutes on my clock. Can't see anything. So I've got raised, which I think will be enough to win the game. Ah, oh, I thought for a moment I did have the play. I've got Razzie, but that's just getting the R doubled. Clump takes nothing after it. I don't think I've got anything through the C. So this is what I think I've got. Raised 33 points, keeping P. My opponent can now place his F to make if and fid. So he could play, well, not very much. This is 33. If he plays the F there, 28 points, he still loses. So, and I'm not providing anything which isn't already available with ARF. Here we go. Now I note that an A can go between R and jar. Both me and my opponent have got an A. I'm only, I think it's enough, 34 points ahead. I think my opponent needs to go out to win. Unless I've overlooked something amazing. Not impossible. I don't have anything ending with the C. I've got pape. I thought for a moment I had tape. I don't. I don't have anything which goes under UN. Ah, Tor is good. TAU. So I have P, net, R, and Tor. For 20. Pretty good. Stays available. Oh, has my opponent gone out? No, he's got the E. Wow, that was a worry. He would have won if he'd gone out. So I have ape. ARP is not good. And by ape, I do, of course, mean P. For 20. So I'm looking for 20 to beat. 2 minutes on my clock. P or ape? No, I think that's good enough. Ape doesn't score more, only 16. Nothing available up here. 2 minutes on my clock. So yeah, I'm going with this. Just wait for my opponent to formally end the game. Which he does. And the final score, 395 to my opponent, 418 to me, a winning margin of 23 points. So a good game. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first, not a good rack. And I played Obia. Nice rack for my opponent, no bingo. He plays G, and that's great for me because I have bigger aid. Fabulous rack for my opponent. He has spywares. Tricky to see. Where's that? K5. Okay, double through the A. Plays swayers. Now, what I did here was Ulex for 33. Watson was on offer. Ah, through the E. Okay, probably worth doing despite keeping the U. So I sacrificed 12 points to have Town rather than Lut. Yeah, probably Watson better. Look at that for a pickup for my opponent. Pretty fantastic. A ton of bingos. He plays inertial. And I have this nearly rack. It looks close to a bingo, but I couldn't see anything. There wasn't anything. I played how. Now, does my opponent have Karunas? That might not even be a word, and in any event, it may not play. Well, actually, I could check, couldn't I? Couldn't I? So, let me try out this command. Check Karunas. Yep, Karuna's valid. It just didn't play. And I have this fabulous rack. which gives me metalling and brings me right back into the game. Horrible rack for my opponent, which is good, slows him down, and now we're into a pretty nip and tuck middle game, a fairly tight board, and close scores. So I have this rack, the FN3. Okay, I missed that, I think. Yeah, bot's quite nice. I saw brief, but not in the air. And I played Fib for 27. Yeah, tone, not 13 points better than bot. Opponent's rack. He plays duos. And now this was tricky. I had a 1-point lead. I had no scoring tiles. I had too many vowels. And I was worried about the Z. And look at these rack leads, pretty horrendous. And look at these scores, mainly in the low 20s. So not much on offer there. However, I managed to surpass the lowness of these scores with 13. So where is Netty? J13. Yeah. Well, possibly worth doing in that if my opponent bingos in column 14, he'll be opening up column 15 and he won't score very much because a column 14 bingo wouldn't get doubled. However, at the moment this board is super unfriendly for bingos. Any bingo would have to go through the V or to stretch the I. So there is an advantage in keeping the game tight when I've got a non-bingo-y rack. Now, great rack for my opponent. He's able to score shivered, and that blew the game wide open. Suddenly I was behind and the board was open. I didn't have a great rack. I played Anodyne. I felt afterwards that maybe I played it too quickly because I suffered from vowel problems. However, there were a decent number of vowels left. What else is on offer here? Well, maybe Noid better for 30. But maybe not. I could easily have remained swamped with vowels, and by playing Anodyne I was keeping a vowel. So I still think Anodyne is good. Opponent's rack. He plays chords, and that's good. It keeps the board open while I'm 40 points behind. I didn't have a great rack with only one vowel, and I was feeling slightly despondent because I thought this game was probably my opponent's. However, Jet A gave me hope, but I was really dependent on a decent pickup. My opponent, he plays gutter, so he's not zooming off into the distance with only 16. My rack, I thought I needed it to get better. It actually got worse. However, only 17 points between us, and I am able to sort this rack out in one with clump or plump. And my opponent's got the vowels. He is now 11 points behind. There's only 2 in the bag. He plays Nog, and suddenly the advantage swings to me. I've got a great rack. It's balanced, and I've got the Z. And not only that, my opponent doesn't have the Z. And I can see what he's got in his bag. Wow. Peased A12. There was a P play. Should have seen that. Peased. Yeah, that's a little bit annoying. Zapped. Okay, not so great because it hangs the Z out. Well, I can see what my opponent's got. Razid. Okay, maybe I should have done that. What did I do? Raised. I think the issue here was that raised, I could see raised would definitely win. So I didn't need to go looking for better plays, but there were better plays available. Yeah, no outs for my opponent. He plays Facio, and now I'm 1 point ahead. All I need to do is go out to win. And the best spot for that is N5 with P, which I played. So that is the end of that. A pretty exciting game. It got off to some sort of start. Yeah, it got off to me falling behind to 2 back-to-back bingos by my opponent with swayers and inertial. Then hit some heavy weather in the middle of the game. I thought the game was sliding away from me. My racks were deteriorating when I needed them to get better. but right at the death, with about 2 moves to go, suddenly my racks improved. The changing point was when I had 7 consonants, played clump, and picked up a dream Endgame rack with the Z, and that was enough to secure me the win. So pretty exciting stuff. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.